Welcome to Shabbat with a Schmear. I'm Meredith Berkman, aka Shabbat Mom, and I am proudly here in the heart of the Upper West Side at Barney Greengrass with Rabbi Adam Mintz to talk Torah. Hello, Rabbi Mintz.
Hi, Meredith. This week we read Mishpatim, and it's interesting because last week we really reached a spiritual high with the experience of Mount Sinai, and this week we kind of go down into the weeds, into the details of civil law. And the question really is this the way to follow the spiritual high of Mount Sinai?
Well, I'm going to answer this through several prisms as Shabbat Mom, but also as the daughter and sister-in-law of trial lawyers who focus on civil law. So I suppose if the point is that last week when we received the Ten Commandments, those are the spiritual religious laws. So the idea would be that the Solino and Barnes Parsha, if you will, the civil litigating Parsha, though they've broken up, which is a whole other story, that these are equal in importance, right? You have religious and spiritual laws, but living in community and how you treat other people is equally as important, which is why the civil laws are put here where they are, correct?
Yeah, I mean, that point is an extremely important point. It's one thing to keep Shabbat, but in Mishpatim, we read about how you have to take care of the widow and the orphan. The woman who is mistreated has to be treated in a certain way. And it's really important always in our life to remember to balance these ideas. We actually have too many people who are very good at keeping Shabbat, but aren't so good in the civil laws.
But you also have plenty of people who are, for example, very focused only on the civil laws and perhaps not on religious and spiritual laws. So to have only one and not the other, is the idea is that you want to remain in balance, correct?
Balance is what the Torah is all about.
I also just want to say very quickly that one of the laws here is something that I very often return to whenever I'm doing an event with Muslim friends, Jewish-Muslim relationship, of course, which is you shall not wrong a stranger or oppress him, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt. And I'm just wondering, in the modern context, and we know, of course, that's at the heart of the Passover story, but I would actually be curious to know if the commentators see that as the most important law among the civil laws.
So I'll tell you that idea of being nice to the stranger, because we were strangers in Egypt, is actually repeated 27 times in the Torah, more than any other law in the Torah. So I think just in terms of repetition, you see that it really is, the most important idea.
Wow, mind blown at Barney Greengrass 27 times. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.